Good evening, again, Programmers Live, back in another session. If you have watched all our previous episodes, this is where we had ended. We ended with a question. We had talked about how we can handle basic input and output in the language. We talked about data types and their modifiers. So I'll begin with a question still. It will be the open up of what we need to have today. Question says a program that calculates the weekly gross pay. Program that calculates the weekly gross pay for an employee. I know some of you might be employees, so this can be a perfect query for this session. So weekly gross pay for an employee based on the total number of hours, based on the total number of hours worked, okay, and the hourly pay rate worked and the hourly pay rate. Okay, I believe this is a beautiful question to start with. So let's think about this. Let's focus on this. I know it's gonna give us a true opening for this session, combination of concepts that we had covered earlier. So I'll have a new file here as usual. I'll go through the routine. What will I have? I'll say include IO stream using, that is no news now, you know. So we have that. I told you if you're using Sublime, definitely it hopes that you're going to do what we call argumentative programming. So for us, we might not need that as of now. Leaving it there and not leaving it there, sometimes it might not make a difference, but to simplify life of the ones that are watching and learning, I'll take life to be normal. So what are we going to have? Let's just think. Let's have something random. We shall say int work days. We shall say int work days. We have a variable called work days, and it's of an integer variable, and it's given 5. You know, work days are 5. So we have what we call work hours. Okay, work hours this time around, they are 7.5. okay, then we are having the pay rate. We are having the pay rate, which is maybe 33 if you guys are working in dollars or shillings. Definitely that can work for you. Then we have what we call the weekly pay. Okay, so basically that is the gross pay that we are going to look for, and it has been initialized to 0 since it's what we are looking for. So what is going to happen? So weekly pay is gonna be assigned work days times work hours. Don't worry about this. I know there is a topic that is coming in the future that will talk about those signs that you see there in details. Then definitely you have to get the work days, then the hours you worked in those specified days, then at what rate were you operating on. So definitely we shall say C out. This was gross what? Gross pay. Gross pay is, of course, we said for us we are keeping it in weekly pay. Okay, there is no harm in having an end line. So what did I do? I declared some variables, then I even did some initialization. So I'll keep here, and I gave you that as an assignment. Hope you did so. So this is declaration and initialization. So the program is using static values. Static means I'm not picking the values from the user. The program already has its own values to use. So I'll get this program, I'll run to my compiler. Okay, or did I do the best? Oh no, I'll say copy, then I'll come back here. So I never wanted to type from this side, I just wanted to run the application. So it's compiling. Basically it is saying that is the gross pay. Okay, so if you wanted to say shillings, then this is a variable, so you cannot join it to a non-variable. So what do? You can open another stream here. That stream, of course, will be a non-variable, so it will be into double quotes. Then you can say shillings or dollars or whatever that you wish to have. So once again, if you run again, it will definitely tell you that those are the shillings that you're working for. Okay, now we have that portion of the program. What if we wanted all these values to come from the user? Have you thought about it? Control A, Control C, Control N, Control V. Okay, I create a new window. So before all that, what am I going to say? I'll say C out. The program computes the gross pay of the what? Of the worker. Okay, I'll have a new line here. Oh, what's up? Okay, so what is going to happen? So I'm going to say C out. I'm modifying within this program how many days, in the week. Okay, so how many days in the week? I'll use a tab because I want the input to be on the same line. So since I've asked for the number of days, then I should command an input. Okay, I'll comment here, command an input. So in, I'm going to use this variable. Okay, work days. So for starters, since I am picking the value from the user, so let's leave this to a 0. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'll say C out how many hours in the week. Okay, how many hours in the week? Nope, I need a vertical tab, I mean a horizontal tab. So of course I'll capture the input, and I'm going to use what was it? Work hours. I'm going to use work hours. So pay rate, we are going to take that to come from the system. So the user just tells us the number of days they worked and the number of hours they gave to the work or to the service. Then automatically for us we shall compute the gross pay, or what we call the weekly pay. So we have added in quite a number of things. Once again, Control A, Control C, back to the compiler, Control A, Control V. Okay, so there we are. So we shall run again. Of course, if there are any errors, we are going to. So this is what I was saying. How many days in the week? So the cursor is away from the statement. How did I do that? I pushed the cursor using the horizontal tab. So back here, how many days a week? I worked for 3 days in the week. And how many hours? I worked for 98 hours at the rate, which is already predefined in the system. So it will give me my gross pay as that. Yep, so the program is working perfect. Okay, so for any questions that you might be having, please, you know where to find me, you know how to interact with me. Don't hesitate to make more research. Maybe what I can do right again here, I told you along the way I'll be dropping some references, so you can look for www.javapoint.com. it's a good source. Look for C++, and trust me, a lot that you're going to find that maybe I have talked about and I haven't talked about. So think about that in detail, and trust me, it will make a lot of sense to you. Okay, in the next section, let's try to look at something that is really so very important. And we're extracting this from our example, the example that we have just done. Somewhere in our example, that was on line 18, we did something. Okay, we said weekly pay was given work days times work hours times pay rate. Now in programming, those are called expressions. Okay, now an expression is a combination of operators and operands. Okay, an expression is a combination of operators and operands. So in this section we introduce operators, we introduce something about operands. Generally we talk about expressions. Okay, so an expression is any computation which yields a value. For example, if we say it's a computation that yields a value, then you realize that we have a computation at this line 18 in our program. We have work days times work hours times pay rate, and that yields a value. Which value is going to be yielded? There is a value that we gave a name weekly pay. So line 18 is termed as an expression. So without delay, we can comment and we can say that is called an expression. Okay, now expressions for them to give a value, it means there is what we call an evaluation. Okay, and an evaluation yields to a final value. Okay, an evaluation yields to an evaluation. Sorry about that. Yields to a final value. Okay, an evaluation yields to a final value. So our final value in the program, that is weekly pay. Now, in some cases, an expression may also produce what we call side effects. We are moving slowly by slowly. In some cases, expressions produce what we call side effects. Yeah, this is known so much with the doctors in prescribing drugs. Then at the end of the day, now like we are in the lockdown for this pandemic, and realize that some people are saying the vaccinations have some side effects, or the treatment of corona has some side effects. Now, that is not what we are talking about. We are in our world of programming. So sometimes you can have an expression, and that expression can give a side effect. Now, what is a side effect? These are permanent changes. Okay, these are permanent changes in the program state. As simple and precise. Okay, permanent changes in the program state. But in C++, if someone talks about expressions, then these are different from mathematical expressions. Okay, so expressions for this time around, they're a combination of operators and operands. So in our case, for now, we are going to look at the different types of operators. Okay, types of operators. Sorry. We have what we call categories of operators. One of them, we have what we call the unary operator. We have what we call the binary operators, and we have what we call the ternary operators. Now, for your case, I'm not going to talk about each one of them, but I know along the way I'll be tapping into them a little bit. But that means in your free time, try to look for what does it mean to say unary, what does it mean to say binary and ternary. So among those categories, then we have types, but still I'm not going to split each type to a category. Okay, but I know when you make some research about a category, then automatically a type will tell you where it lies as a category. So the first type of operators we have is called arithmetic operators. These ones are called basic math operators. Okay, and among them, since we said they're basic, we have minus, we have division, we have modulus, we have plus, we have a multiplication. Okay, those are the basic ones. Now in your normal math, this is called a percentage. Here in programming, we call this a modulus. Okay, call that modulus. Multiplication, some of you use X. In programming we use the asterisk. It's called the asterisk. Okay, now for example, if I wanted to use modulus, modulus means give me the value, give me the remainder after the division. So assume I divided 13 by 3, the answer is gonna be 1. Someone is saying, hey, what are you doing? I'm saying modulus means, sorry about this, modulus means if you divide, I don't need the real answer. Okay, I don't need the real answer. What I need is the remainder after getting the answer. So modulus focuses on the remainder. Okay, division, what if I had 9 divided by 2.0? What is gonna be the answer? That is gonna be 4.5. Okay, some things, those of you who know some bit of math, some things are really going to be modified around here, but definitely I hope you cop up. Now subtraction, assume I had 3.98 minus 4. Okay, 3.98 minus 4, what am I going to get? I'm going to get that is negative 0.02. okay, are we moving? Okay, so those are just examples, but that is what we call arithmetic operator. Now the things that we need to really understand in this case, for example, when it comes to the division, there is something that you need to note. Okay, okay, so when it comes to the division, up here, before I talk about the division, try to look at this. Now I said this was an expression, and I said an expression is a combination of operators, then operands, okay, which when evaluated we get a final value. Now work days, work hours, and pay rate, those ones are known as operands. The multiplication and the equal sign, those are called operators. Okay, the same applies here. 13 and 3, these are operands, and the modulus is an operator. The same applies to line 49, and 9 divided by 2.0, a division is an operator, and then the 9 and the 2.0 are operands. Now when it comes to the division, listen to this very well. I'm not going to write, but try to listen and maybe not. When it comes to the division, when both operands of the division operator are integers, then the division is performed as an integer division. Okay, I think I need to write. When both operators are integers, then the division is to treated as integer division. Guys, we are not in math, we are in programming. So we are picking the rules. I told you there are as many rules as possible for every programming language. Due to perfecting the language, first is about the syntax or the rules of the language. So we are saying when both operators are integers, then the division is to be treated as an integer division and not a normal division. Not a normal division. Okay, so one thing that I know is that we are always used to what we call an integer division, where results always give us an integer as an outcome. Okay, so for this case the result is always rounded off. So for example, if I say 9 divided by 2, if I say 9 divided by 2, so what happens? This gives a 4, not 4.5. Mark that, guys. What if I have a negative 9 divided by 2? What if I have a negative 9 divided by 2? This gives a negative 5, not a negative 4. Are we moving, guys? Are we moving? Are we moving, guys? So that should be kept in mind as much as possible. So it was just something to give a keen understanding before we went any further. So another type of operators, we have what we call relational operators. Relational, sometimes some people call them comparison operators. Okay, so comparison operators, we have equal to or equivalent to, we have not equal to. Guys, I'm typing as I'm talking for his explanation. We have less than, we have greater than, we have less or equal to, we have greater or equal to. So these are examples of relational operators. We also have exactly equal to. Okay, we also have exactly equal to. Now these ones return Boolean results. These operators return Boolean results. Boolean results means the result you expect is either a 0 or a 1. So I guess people can check out that. For example, if I wanted to use a less than, I can ask if A is less than F. I can ask if A is less than F. So automatically this gives a what? This gives a 1. If you were here, if you went through our previous episode, we talked about the coding system of characters. So definitely this will be something like, in comparing, this will be something like 65 is less than 70. Automatically it's not. So that is why it gives a 1, meaning it's a false. Are we together? So but I've done this with characters, but you cannot do it with strings. We can't do this with strings. I think I should even put this in capital note. We cannot do this with strings. You know, some people are really so wise and they'll try out quite a number of things. If I have if I have hello and I'm asking is hello less than maybe by, of course definitely you're going to encounter an error. So for that case, it means you'll be tapping into string manipulation and you'll need a function like string compare. Okay, something that I want to talk about right now before the accurate time. So all I wanted to bring out was we can compare characters, but we cannot compare strings in a way of comparison operators. Once again, that was number 3 types of operators. By the way, there are many, so in this third one I'll talk about logical operators. We have one which is so funny in English, of course, an exclamation, but this means not. We have ampersand, this means and. Okay, then we have the O, those are pipeline symbols. Those are pipeline symbols. So not is a negation. Okay, if it's not true, then it's false, or otherwise means, of course, if it's not false then it is true. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. Then we have and. It says it's only true when both are true. Okay, otherwise it's false. I know it's the first interaction, so things might not be grasped at the very first instance, but no worry, I'm going to try and explain until when we understand. So and it's only true when both are true, otherwise it's a false. Then we have O, it's only false when both are false. Otherwise it's true. Wow. So for easier understanding, we use what we call the Boolean logic. Okay, now in simple understanding, not is a negation. Okay, negation means it always defies what is present. If what is present is true, then it says it's false. If what is present is false, then it will say it's true. Then for and, for those guys who have dealt with binary computations, it's only true when both are true, otherwise it's a false. So this one is known as a binary multiplication. Okay, so 1 times a 1 is a 1. Of course, the limit for a binary is 1, so we have a 0 and we have a 1. So a 0 times a 0 is a 0. Then a 1 times a 0 is a 0, definitely. So it's only and only true when it is true, otherwise it is false. Okay, then we have or is a binary addition. Of course, we know, once again, in binary you have 2 values. we have 0 and we have 1. So if I say a 0 plus a 0, definitely that is a 0. So it's only false when both are false, otherwise it's true. Otherwise, if I say 1 plus 1, then that is 1. Or if I say 1 plus a 0, that is 1. If I say 0 plus a 1, that is a 1. So it is all true all the way for until when both are false. That is when it evaluates to a false. So I'm going to pause from around here. Of course, if you have any questions, reach me out on programmerslive@gmail.com or on WhatsApp 0751824973. Our next episode is going to begin exactly from here. We shall try to exhaust what we have started. I sign out.